We just got some verbal updates. So that's for open. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Director.
Thank you through the chair. We have a very short agenda today, but we do have a couple of verbal updates that we can share from a couple of our directors. So I will turn it over to Director Tuchscher for a market update together with a couple of other things we're working on.
Sure, I'll just start with our regular commodity update. Obviously a slow start to the year on power prices. Year to date, $31.72 a megawatt hour. Balance the year uptick slightly to $44.97 a megawatt hour. And Cal 26 is still printing at $44.75. Gas year to date, $2 even. Balance the year staying fairly flat at $1.88. And staying fairly depressed for next year at $1.87.9 per GJ. Maybe quickly just touch on our hedging policy, which affects this group. It isn't approved by this group, but we do have a hedging policy for our commodities. We are looking at making revisions, and we'll go through corporate services, but does impact our group. Lots of administrative, but also just looking at updating our targets, those kind of things, just general administrative pieces of that policy.
Both electricity and gas.
Yeah, and even on gas, it's obviously we're a net consumer now with our production. Our gas, our electric generation demand, it significantly uses that plus a lot more. So most of our hedging is done on the electric side these days. And then lastly, I can maybe touch on REM, structured energy market. So there's kind of flip into the next phase, which now they're calling the market participant readiness phase of the restructured energy market. So what's been done to date, a high level restructured market design. They've engaged with vendors to implement the design. They've completed the initial rules for that high level design. Kind of what the next big steps are. They're looking at building out the platform and the services needed to implement the new rules. And the other big one that really affects us is further engagement on what they are now calling manuals or information documents for those, I would say, detailed design elements. So that's kind of the biggest piece where we think we're going to have to continue. Well, we will continue to engage to make sure that any of these detailed designs still consider our uniqueness as a city Medicine Hat. Can maybe get into some of the high level objectives, make sure participants understand what's changing under REM, that we're able to build internal capability that's needed for this design. There's readiness activities such as, sound lot and getting systems set up, making sure everybody's, understanding it and being able to adapt to the new rules. Complete our internal systems, process changes, and then we have the opportunity to validate those new, the new IT systems. Maybe the last big piece, like I said, ISO manuals are now kind of a new word. Previously you had ISO rules that would govern all of the market rules and how the market functioned. Now you have the high level ISO rules, but now you have what's called manuals where these detailed designs are coming in. It will outline the specific kind of calculations of the rules or how, like, for example, on a secondary offer cap, what is that cap and how is it, when does it kick in? Those kind of things will be done in these manuals. So those are being developed. They're going to have 4 of these manuals over the next, going into Q1 of 2027. And we will participate in this engagements. For example, adequacy of supply. There's a new 30-minute ramping product that's going to be introduced. That's the first window of manuals. Second window will include local market power mitigation, settlements, net settlements. Window 3 will be dispatch and pricing and real-time market pricing and reliability unit commitment. That'll be in the 3rd window. And the 4th window will be secondary offer cap and just general reference levels, those kind of things. So those are the big pieces that we'll get. I've always said the high level design, it is what it is, but it's really those details that are going to come in through these manuals that are going to be important for us to engage on. And obviously the general getting ready, getting our system set up, understanding the rules that when it hits day 1, that we can make sure that we're participating in an efficient manner that works to maximize the city's assets.
So are they looking to change the cap from 999 megawatt
Yeah.
down to, they said a number, 500?
It's going up to,
It's going up.
it's gonna go up to a maximum 3,000. And then they're looking at, I forget the time frame, because it's been a little bit now, but I think it's 2030 that they're looking at into a negative 100 floor. So it'll go negative. So right now the floor is 0, cap's 999.99. It's now gonna go to 3,000 and negative 100.
That's for renewables. Is that because renewables are coming online so much?
Well, the biggest change for renewables is this 30-minute ramping product. So now they're gonna procure this ramping product that'll allow them to push generators up and down to manage the intermittency of renewables. So that's kind of the biggest piece of that. When the market gets in a real tight position, that will push it to the 3,000 price cap. Your offer cap isn't 3,000, but the price can get to 3,000.
So you might only be able to bid in at 1,000?
I think if I remember right, it's been a little bit since I've had my head around, but I think it's 2,000 is the offer cap.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
And then, but then if all the offer caps are, if everybody's offer is being pushed into the market price can rise to 3,000. Actually, sorry, the offer cap's lower than that. I think the offer cap's actually 800. But the price can go to 3,000.
This isn't all bad news, is it?
The biggest,
I'm not saying something.
the biggest hit for the city is what's called localized marginal price.
Right.
So if there's a constraint, which typically we have an outflow constraint, if the power in this area can't get to the market and there's a lot of zero price offers in this area, our price will be set at $0. And then we are in a market or in an area where there's lots of renewables. So there can be times when power can't get to the market and there's a lot of renewables priced at 0, that will set our price at 0. So that's
Gas assets, the volatility and the increased
money on-
price range will be helpful, but our regional pricing with wind blowing in particular and sun shining around us, our export price will be significantly lower on average.
we still hope, or we still anticipate there'll be some times when renewables are low, market price high, there will be no constraint for us to get to the market, and we could still see some of those volatile times potentially up to $3,000. But it's obviously a new design, and how it's going to play out and how many hours do we still get the volatility? Is that going to be trumped by more hours at $0? That's kind of what we're still, that everybody's still trying to see exactly how it will play out.
More reason to expand our solar operations, I would say. But anyway, I may be out of line there. You stated something early in your comments that caught my attention, and that was that the city of Medicine Hat is a net consumer of gas now.
Yeah, like, so if you think about if we were running all of our generation units, we could be using 30 to 40,000 GJs a day. Our production now is down to 10,000 a day. So all that comes into our system. We also have our gas demand for our residential and rate-based customers as well, that it can get up to a significant level in the winter, obviously in our heating season. So our consumption of gas is significantly more than our production of gas.
Right. And that's including our consumption in electric generation, but it's also including all our customers.
Yeah, we hold 87,000 GJs a day of gas delivery to our city. So that's how much we can pull off Nova Gas is 87,000 GJs a day. And there's times when we're up around that. So there's times we're pulling 87,000 GJs into our system.
And just so I understand, and I think I do, but I'm seeking some confirmation here. I've stated before, when I was first on council, that was a very long time ago. We'd sit around this table and wring our hands because we needed to buy reserves. We didn't have enough gas to supply our customers, or we were edging towards a point where we wouldn't have enough reserves to supply our customers. We don't seem to worry about that at this point. Do I understand correctly? And we were buying fields in Saskatchewan primarily, which obviously are not being piped directly to the city of Medicine Hat. They're being piped onto a grid. So it's kind of like the electric market. Am I anywhere close to understanding this?
Yeah, a few comments on that. So when we had production in Saskatchewan, it's still basically an offset. So when we're supplying customers to, that would go on to the bigger system, but we'd still get paid that price. So it's still price, call it a hedge or sets, it provides some price security on that side of things.
Yeah.
On the gas delivery side, well, we do have significant delivery in the whole province as a whole. Gas delivery is at a very, I'd say, stress time where there's a lot of people that are looking for additional gas service, and there's no capacity on the pipelines. So it's a 5 to 7 year wait to get gas delivery service. So if we said tomorrow we want 20,000 more GJs of gas service, it would likely be a 5 to 7 year wait time. So it's a,
Whether we had reserves in Saskatchewan or not.
yeah, correct. Yeah. But I just mean in terms of like, so if, you know, in terms of growth, that's something that's on our radar that we are looking at managing that gas delivery capability for the city.
All right.
So we're looking at, you know, what's our solution for that?
And so Rudyard Kipling and All Hell for Abasement. No gas downstairs? Or not enough? Or are we missing, like, should we be drilling close to the city and trying to up our generation?
I would think economics on the gas side has become challenged. And I think that's why you've seen some shut-ins and letting the natural decline in fields around here because of gas pricing.
Right.
So,
But is there actually gas there?
I would think, yeah, would be.
Like new gas. I mean, we got wells that are producing wells and supplying. But is there the opportunity to go exploring for more gas close by?
And there is, I will turn it through the chair to Director Redden. We actually just reviewed that earlier today. Director Redden.
There is additional reserves that could be tapped with additional drilling, but it's the economics of it that presents a challenge. It's a considerable capital investment to go drill additional wells. We're at about 6 wells per section now. If we were to infill the northeast field, let's say to 8 wells a section, considerable capital outlay. And with current pricing, the payout is quite long for that.
Okay. Thank you. That helps me understand this business.
I see that Mr. Redden is here. Are you here on another item as well?
Yes, after Director Tuchscherer, are you?
We were done, sorry.
Please.
I'm done.
Yes.
Just a quick update on a couple of utility distribution matters, particularly electric operations. Some outages experienced last week. The greater than 120 kilometer winds we had on March 8th did result in 4 broken poles near the Gas City campground, which caused an outage to customers in that area. We did have temporary repair completed and power restored in that area by about 6 p.m. We responded shortly after noon that day. Ground conditions delayed the installation of all the poles, but permanent repair was completed by 2 p.m. on Tuesday. On Wednesday, during switching and getting feeders back to normal positions after that repair, there were issues with a broken insulator and a blown fuse, causing an outage to about 1,350 customers in Kincooley and downtown. All customer service was restored in those areas in about an hour's time. And just a reminder, as we've been doing for the past number of committee meetings, regular pole maintenance, testing and replacement is occurring, as is ongoing tree trimming throughout the city. So be aware, as always, of crews working in the areas in some neighborhoods. And that's all I have.
Okay. Anything else? That's it.
I don't have a question. Sorry. I'm sitting forward, but that's just to rest my shoulders.
Good. Okay, we're adjourned. 5.